Hi guys, Life After the IB here. So I know for many of you, school is starting really soon, and if not, you only have a few more weeks left. And it doesn't matter if you're starting off with pre-IB or you're jumping straight into the IB diploma. It's a pretty stressful time. It can be a bit of a confusing time. So I just wanted to make this video about what to expect during your first day and your first few weeks in the IB program. Now, if you're starting out with the pre-IB, it's probably not going to be that much different from any other year that you've had. That first day of school, everyone's going over the rules, everyone's, getting familiar with their friends, the teachers don't have too much set up, nothing's really organized, there's a lot of hecticness, especially for most people, especially I know in the US, this is your first year in high school, so it's getting used to a whole new campus. Some people have never even had to change classes before, so there's a lot of newness going on, and that can cause for a lot of stress. So I just want anyone who's going to be dealing with that in the next few weeks, take a big deep breath and breathe out, all right? You're going to be okay. I promise you it might be scary, but I survived. Everyone else I know survived. You're going to survive. Pre-IB, the first day, it's nothing to be concerned about. Just listen to all your teachers. Think about any school supplies that you might need that you didn't plan on ahead of time and get all of that taken care of as soon as possible. Also, make sure that you are 100% happy with your schedule, because that is going to be a pain to fix later down the road if it's not what you need right now. The first week of pre-IB, it's pretty easygoing. You're not going to be dealing with too much stress. It's mostly just meeting people, meeting your classmates, figuring out what's going on, what's expected of you, and it's going to be most like any other schools out there. Pre-IB doesn't start picking up until at least a few weeks in, and they take it slow. They make sure you know what's going on. It's nothing you need to worry about, all right? So especially for all my people out there who are starting pre-IB, take a big deep breath, let it go. I'm sure it is 100 times worse in your head than what's actually going to be in real life. Now, I know you don't believe me right now, and I know this is going to be really, really scary, but you're going to be fine. And if you're not fine, come talk to me, and I can coach you through anything else. Now, for all those who are starting IBDP, or the International Baccalaureate Diploma Program, that first day is going to be really, really intense. All the teachers have a limited amount of time starting now to get you prepared for your exams in 2 years. And trust me, 2 years doesn't cut it for a lot of the classes. You're going to be going full throttle from the very first minute you step into that classroom. So that first day, you're going to be getting all of your textbooks. You're going to be getting all your syllabus taken care of. They're going to explain exactly what they expect from you in this class. And this is the last time you're ever going to hear it. So if you have a single question about any expectations for the class, what papers are going to be due, when they're going to be due, if you're going to be notified about them, or if you need to keep track of due dates yourself, you need to clear this up now. That first day is super, super important. Make sure your schedule is correct. Make sure you're in the right SLHL classes. Make sure you have all the textbooks you're going to need. And long before your first day, you should make sure that you have a really good study space. So see one of my other videos. I'm going to talk about study spaces and how to study for the IB program. All of that should be taken care of before your first day, because trust me, from here on, it's only going to get worse for you. All right? The first week of IBDP is crazy, especially if you've never been in a pre-IB program before, and from the gate, they're now expecting you to write at a college level. They're expecting you to fully research and source all of your essays. They're expecting you to start writing assignments. And a lot of people go into it not having experience either writing out full essays, or they don't have experience researching, and this is a very, very new process for them. You need to get in the habit, and the main way that IB does that for you is expecting it from the very first day, and you just kind of learn it as you go. So especially that first few weeks, if you feel like there is a million things that you're supposed to be doing and it's too much for you to handle everything, know that that's a bit normal, actually, and know that everyone else has gone through this, all right? Anyone who's gone through the IB program before, we all know exactly how that feels, and it's more or less just something that you have to learn with the program. Some people think it's too intense. Some people think we shouldn't be putting that pressure on, 11th graders, but honestly, that's real life. When you go to university, your professors at university are not going to hold your hand and go over the syllabus 3 different times like you might see in 9th or 10th grade in traditional high schools. They're not going to make sure that you're asking the right questions. It's going to be your responsibility to make sure you understand everything. And that's the same approach that IB takes. They'll give you the information, you have to process it, learn it yourself, and make sure you understand it. So I think that this, while it's really scary, especially if you've never done anything like it before, is a bit intense. It's really good practice for later on in life because you're going to hit this not only in universities, but you're going to hit this in your workplace. So you really need to take this time now, that first day in IB, and ask every question under the sun, all right? I promise you, it's the scariest thing you'll ever have to do. But go up to each of your teachers, introduce yourself, ask any questions you have about the syllabus, let them know any reserves you have about taking the class. Like, for instance, if you are not good at math, I see this all the time, people ask me questions about how much is going to be expected out of them for the different math levels. They say that, they're not really, really great at math, but they're not terrible at math, and they're a little bit concerned as to whether or not Math ML is going to be too much for them. If you don't know, Math ML is called middle level. It technically is Math SL, but Math SL offers 2 options, one which is really, really basic math, and one which actually teaches up through Calculus 1. So that middle level, sometimes people who aren't fully confident in their mathematical abilities are a bit hesitant to take. If you're going into the sciences, obviously it's a really good class to have, and lots of people end up taking it specifically for that reason, but they have reservations about it. If you fall into this category, go up to the teacher that very first day, explain your reservations. Let them know ahead of time that you might want extra help or that you might be asking a lot of questions in class. Let them know if you expect to be having any problems. And I told you guys it's going to be the scariest thing you'll have to do, but it will make your life infinitely better. Okay? Something else that is going to happen during this first week of IB, you're going to be surrounded with a bunch of other students that are all in the exact same position as you. Now, I don't know your specific position here. In the US, where I went to school, most of the people in my class had already met each other from younger years in middle school or just knowing each other in surrounding neighborhoods. We all mostly knew each other. It's not the same for everyone, especially in a lot of the international schools. You might be walking in not knowing a single person in your class, which, like me, I was actually going to a very special middle school. I didn't know anyone in the high school that I went to, so most of the people in my class knew each other. I went in not knowing a single person, and that made it a lot harder for me. Depending on if you already feel like you have a support structure there, that can influence your emotional turbulence during this time. If you don't have that emotional structure with friends that you've known for years and you can rely on, and you know that you're all going through it together, it can feel very lonely. I don't want to say that it's individualistic because, like I said, you're all going through the same thing and you're in the same classes. There's tons of people around you. But even in a crowd, you can be lonely. And I want you guys to reach out. Okay, you're going to be with these people for the next 2 years. Now, my IB class, we had about 150 students. So that was a lot of people to get to know. I know most IB classes out there, at least the ones that I end up talking to, they range normally around 50 students in the class. So I want you guys to go out and talk to the people who are going to be graduating with you. Talk to the people you're going to be taking these classes with. learn about them, learn about their interests, learn about why they did the IB program. It's going to help you later on when you have to work with these people on projects, when you have to research with these people, when you're helping each other study for exams. If you take this time now before you all get bogged down with assignments and tests and everything else that goes along with IB territory to really become familiar with the people in your class, it'll make your life a lot easier, okay? And I'm really, really shy. I don't like doing things outside my comfort zone. I identify as an introvert. So pushing yourself can be hard for some people, and trust me, if you fall into this category, I completely understand where you're coming from. But a lot of the times the best things in life come from pushing outside our boundaries and experiencing something new. So I want you guys to just take a good deep breath, all right? First day of school, not going to be a big deal. You'll make it. There'll be the second day and the third day, and then before you even know it, you're through the first term and you're looking forward to winter holidays. So leave me a comment in the section below. Tell me anything you might be nervous about during your first day. If you've had similar experiences to me, let me know. If you've had different experiences to me, let me know, because I really want everyone to get a well-rounded idea as to what they might be facing. And go ahead and check out my blog, lifeaftertheib.tumblr.com, and let me know if there's anything you want to see from my next videos. All right? Bye, guys.